Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 8th episode of Strategic Business Planning. This is John Coombs, your host. Today, we have Clay McCoy. He's an entrepreneur, business strategist, and a former healthcare CEO with over 20 years of leadership experience. Based in East Tennessee, he owns and partners in multiple businesses, including Amazing Athletes of Knoxville, Red, White, and Clean, and Holloway Legacy Electric, while actively serving his community through nonprofit board leadership. Clay was a very interesting participant today. He comes from a very diverse background, and this is the first that I've had from corporate to business. Please welcome Clay McCoy. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Strategic Business Planning. I'm John Coombs, your host, and today I've got Clay McCoy. He started out his life in the corporate world. So for 10, 15 years, he made it all the way to CEO.
20, but that's okay.
20 years?
I started early.
Oh, he started out
in the behavioral
20 years, started out in the health or behavioral health industry and made it to CEO before he realized that his passion was to do his own thing and get out of the corporate world. And today we're going to talk about his journey into being an entrepreneur. Please join me with Clay McCoy.
Okay. So I thought it was weird too, but it's 8:01 an hour. 8:01 an hour. So, but with that being said, I just never turned back, man. I never turned back. I tell everybody that, I kept grinding and climbing and grinding and climbing. I asked every single boss I would get a job, and then I would try to perfect that job and be the best at that job. And then I'd ask my boss, hey, now I want your job. And so by the time, I think it was actually 31 years old, I made it to CEO level, working over a program that worked with kids. I was helping kids from all over the country that experienced a lot of trauma and abuse. I had a team of about 200 employees at the time, and we did some great work.
And you started up north.
Started up north, yes.
Got down to Louisiana.
So to be truthful, being an East Tennessee boy, Michigan was a culture shock to me. So I've never seen some place get a foot of snow and overnight, and everybody's back at work by 8 a.m. And so I had my little two-wheel drive, and we had our first son at 21 years old. And
wow!
So I literally through commencement, walked off commencement, and came back to Tennessee. Literally, we were in the U-Haul after commencement and headed back to Tennessee. So, not that Michigan was bad. I loved it. It just wasn't for me. And so I got a job right after I graduated. I had landed a job here in Knoxville, and again, just kept climbing. So I didn't graduate with a CEO status. I came down here and worked as a family counselor. I then made it to regional supervisor and was over a region. And then I got recruited to be a director of residential services at the place that ultimately I ended up becoming the CEO. I did multiple roles in it. And just kept going, man.
Awesome. Awesome. So how big of an organization was it? Without telling the name, was it like, how many kids or how many, what was the revenue, et cetera, something like that?
Yeah, I can't. I'm one of those in the corporate world that it's not my, people can still look it up and find it. And so
sure.
We would have about 100 kids at a time, and they'd be there for, 60, 90 days, sometimes 6 months if they had nowhere to go. And they'd come from all over the country.
Did that change your mindset when you had kids, working with kids?
Yes, majorly. So when my childhood experiences, which made me who I am today, and so I have wonderful parents now. I had wonderful parents then. That's not what I would say negatively about them, but I lived a different childhood. Let's just say that. And so with that being said, when I got my first psychology class and saw the development of kids, and then you apply that to the work that I was doing, and then you apply it to having kids, it changed my entire career, my entire life.
Yeah, I was the same way when I had my first kid. I didn't want to skydive anymore. I didn't want to go mud riding in really deep holes where I could like flip over and get killed, or I didn't want to, race go-karts or anything crazy like that, because kids can. I mean, I got life insurance,
right.
Like I got, and for some people that don't have kids, I'm particularly looking at our videographer and audio engineer back here. Doesn't have kids.
You don't have kids yet?
No kids. He doesn't quite understand that. Now, he's been around a lot of kids, and he has a little, I think he's got little nieces and nephews, etc. But when you have a kid, it's game changing. Yeah. And what I understand is when you have grandkids, it's even better.
It's a very special thing. So.
But I don't have grandkids yet. Do you have grandkids?
I did. I have a wonderful grandson that was born January 16. His name is Boston Holloway McCoy.
Boston Holloway. Okay, so tell us about that. What does it feel like to be a granddad?
All right, so I got to share a little bit more of my story to do that, and I hope I don't get too emotional.
You're fine. I cried on our podcast the other day, so you do you.
So my grandfather killed himself before I was born, when my mother was 14 years old. My grandmother at that point had to start all over in life. He was a very good businessman, but he threw it all in, and some restaurants just didn't make it, and so he gave up, and then my great grandfather passed away when I was 3 years old on my birthday. So my grandson Boston means a lot more to me than I get the chance to be a granddad that I never had.
Sure.
So it's pretty special.
That's awesome, man.
And so that's what I'm about. I have some wonderful kids. They are amazing. If you see, I love you all. My grandson is something that now I get to spoil and be the granddad that I always wanted.
That's solid.
Even at a young age, it's going to be fun.
Wow. All right, so fast forward a little bit.
Yeah.
You made it to the sea level. Yeah. And when you get to the sea level, you're CEO, this behavioral health. What was the last few years like? And explain how you, for our listeners that are maybe in the executive world, or they're in a very high management and they're thinking about either getting out, or they're like, I can't do this anymore. Yeah. Et cetera, et cetera. Talk to them about what happened the last few years and how you made the transition.
So I think the big catalyst for me, at the last gig that I had, so I got to the point where I moved on, and I went to an adult facility and was launched a psychiatric hospital as employee number one, and then I went into the substance use field that had some connections with my family, what set it apart for me is it was about the dollar over the people that were in front of us. And I didn't join this field. I didn't join that field making good money is great. It's a great thing. But when we lose focus that it's about those patients in front of us and about changing their lives, that's what set me over the edge. And so and so I sat down with my wife at the time, and we looked at each other, and I said, look, I think I need to quit. And I think I need to retire from that world. And, she looked at me and said, if it's not, it's going to kill you, because I was just in it. And wow. And so I always saw, at the beauty of life, but you see the country club guys, you see the guys that they're doing really well, and they always say, "Hey, I got my own businesses. I got my own businesses, or business, I got my own business." And so I felt very comfortable at that point. I mean, I had, a little bit about my degree. I have 2 certifications from Cornell in executive healthcare leadership and executive change management. I have a master's in organizational psychology and, kind of the study of behavior within business. And so I felt pretty confident in myself at that point, but I knew, okay, I got to get back to the things that I love to do. And so one of the things that stood out for me is obviously I had to get back to kids. I had to get back to working with kids. And so I spent 6 months looking for franchise I had a franchise consultant at the time that you don't pay them anything. Their role is just to help you find, and then
before you get into that, I want to just briefly.
Yeah.
Did you have other friends that was at the level of you, like other executives, other people, and did they feel the same way about their jobs? Did you talk to other people? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I
mean, being transparent. So I'm pretty young in that, and so I would say my network of people and my friends at that time, was actually probably more my employees and other, some small business owners in our area. My wife at the time was a nurse, and so I didn't have C-suite friends.
Sure.
I lived in board meetings where the C-suite friends were telling me what to do.
Well, okay.
All right. So if that makes sense,
it does.
I took kind of the leap. Everybody looked at me sideways, like, "What are you doing?
Yeah,
what are you doing?"
Well, so that brings up another question. Since you were young, you were blessed.
Yeah,
I know you clearly take that
very blessed.
Position.
Not very blessed in that. Blessed in life.
Yeah,
is
blessed.
What I'm saying.
You were blessed, and you had God's favor.
Yes.
In your hierarchy of where you were and where you went. Do you think that, looking back, is there a reason that people are in their 50s and 60s before they hit to the C-level spot because of maybe not necessarily you, but maybe they're stronger or they're more knowledgeable? Youth sometimes can bring big chest. Ooh, me,
Yeah.
Ooh, me, I know as you've gotten older, we've talked about this. As we get older, we become more knowledgeable and we think less of, I'm the big and bad. I don't need any help. I can do this on my own. Do you think, for those that are listening that are in their 30s and they're a CEO right now and they're like, holy cow, this is so much pressure, do you think that's a reason God doesn't?
So I think that if it's okay, let me step it back, because I'm blessed that sometimes I look at God and say, how the heck did I make it to the C-suite? Okay.
Sure.
So I think it's more fair to talk to people that are in it every day, just grinding and working wherever they're at, whatever the leadership role they're in, whatever company they're working for, whatever, it's that person that I personally would have a goal to say, listen, you can do it. That's why I'm wearing this shirt. You are enough, in the small business world in general, a job isn't a job if you love what you're doing.
Yeah.
If you love what you're doing, and it's not a job. It's not a job, And so most people struggle to make that leap over into, I can do a small business, I can do a business thing, because of that anxiety. They're on a payroll, they're getting a check every week, they're getting those things. And so the big piece that I would want to say to people is like, try it, right? Start a side hustle of something that you love. I have some great friends that Ashley Family Farms, I'm going to call them out on it because they're friends here, and they both have their own jobs, and they have a side hustle of making, tallow products, and they take care of my beard, and it's a side hustle. They go
Pretty
on
impressive
Saturday
beard,
and Sunday.
by the way.
All right, thank you. I've been working on it. So, they it's a side hustle to them, but it's fun, right? It's fun. Now, can that side hustle grow to being a full-time job? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But taking the leap, is where it's at. I have another good friend that is, I'm going to keep calling him out because they're local folks. So he has a food truck called Bob's Smoking Something. His family's in the restaurant business, and he smokes barbecue. That was his fun, right? He had another business mowing lawns. He hated it. He hated it.
Yeah.
And so he's smoking meat. We're doing family events. We're doing all this. And all of a sudden now he's got a food truck and it's running really well. And he is doing the things that he loves to do. And it turned into a career, right? If that makes sense.
It does. That reminds me of if my father's watching this, he always told me, if you enjoy what you do,
right,
you'll never work a day in your life.
Exactly. It's fun.
It's a quote. I don't know if he came up with that or heard it somewhere, but it's true.
Absolutely.
You got to enjoy what you do. That's why I'm asking. So you came to the end of that. You quit.
Yeah.
You and your wife decided you're going to quit, and then you quit. What was your mind like? Like the origin of entrepreneurship for you, since you're no longer a W-2 executive level person, you're now thinking entrepreneurship. What was your mindset like?
Scared. So, when you're the provider of a family, you got 4 kids, right? You're making a big leap. Was thank God blessed enough to be able to make the leap and go all in, right? And so I'm blessed and thank God for that ability, but I was all in, right? And so then to me it was go, scared, right? But in the same piece, there's something so special about owning your own thing, right? And so owning your own thing, it's your piece, it's your, whatever it may be. I mean, it was empowering. It felt wonderful. It felt exciting. It felt like, right, the new challenge for me, and that challenge of growing something myself that I owned.
What was it? What was the first business?
Amazing Athletes of Knoxville.
Okay.
It's what I tell everybody is my baby.
Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So Amazing Athletes is a wonderful company where we introduce kids to sports. So we, as a multi-sport curriculum, we go into preschools, elementary schools. We're launching some Parent and Me classes. We launched in February of 24. And our goal is to bring sports to everyone. So it's a non-competitive. No, I'm horrible at basketball. I'm horrible. I'm an athletic person. No, I'm horrible at soccer. I tried to play in high school. I played a little bit of football. But what I know about, right, we're the age, right? You can look back at the good old days, right? And those coaches made a difference in your life.
100%.
And that, your parents are great and they're awesome and, they support you and everything and they're there. But your coaches really stand out, and sports matters to kids. And I think in our world right now, and in all the experience that I have with kids, we kind of zone in. It's like, oh, my 8-year-old's going to be an MLB player and they must play baseball, 13 months of the 12-month year. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's sorry. What's the hands? Oh, you got to tell me what the codes are.
Yeah. 10.
Okay, I got you. ADHD, so I got distracted there. So, I mean, we kind of zone in.
Maybe we should address that next time somebody comes. When he does this, that means it's been 10 minutes. When he does this, that means it's been 20 minutes. Or 10 minutes left. Yeah. 10 minutes left.
I love it.
We're recording still. Bloopers, baby. 10 minutes left. We try to make this. We try to make this 30 minutes, and I hit 40 on the last two. It doesn't have to be
exactly. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
He's a great engineer, sound engineer.
So so with that being said, going back for the 10-minute distraction, I am the prodigy child of ADHD. I can tell you, if in Webster's dictionary, they should have my picture beside it. But with that being said, Yeah, we bring sports. What Amazing Athletes is mission based for me. It's very much a mission based. I get to make a difference in a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old's life, 6-year-old, 7-year-old, up to 12. But most of our kids are 2 to 8 years old.
Okay.
Get to bring them and expose them to sports like golf, hockey, lacrosse, baseball, basketball. We rotate each week. It's fitness based. We have obstacle courses. We have a nutrition component. It gets kids moving, right? And I love my kids. Don't take this personal, but they spend all the time on screens, and you're just begging to go outside, go ride a bike, go do something. And so they're great kids. I love you all. But
shout out to the kids.
With that being said, it's, Amazing Athletes gave me an opportunity to apply my mission in life, which is really make a difference in a child's life and give something special to them. And then it's a non-competitive way. They find sports that they love. And if they want to go into, competitive sports, they're actually ahead of the game. We're doing a lot of motor skill development. We're doing it. Yeah. And then as a parent, you don't have to, go to these. We go into the preschools. We go into the different environments. We work with homeschool groups. Yeah. We do. We're doing it where parents can also be at home at night, right? And if they want to do competitive sports later, they can. And so it's very much a mission based to me. It's wonderful and yeah. So that's my baby. And then I got ADHD. Got 2 other businesses and
wow. So 3.
Yep.
Okay. So. Mindset. We're talking mindset. This is do's and don'ts of business. So, do's. What do you know now?
Well, let me pull up my notes so that we can make sure that I get on the things that I added.
What do you know now that you wish you would have known in the beginning?
All right. So, hold on. I'm going to log in here.
You got like a 14-character password?
No, I just plugged it in wrong. All right, the do's and don'ts. So, we'll talk about the do's. Going slower. I with Amazing Athletes, actually, I jumped in. I scaled very quickly, which is a beautiful thing and a fun thing. And but I didn't have my systems and processes in place. And so as a small business owner, we many times, and I lived it and breathed it, you want to do everything. You're going to, all these things that you've got to do. You've got to do the marketing. You got to do the sales. You got to do this. You got to coach. You got to do this, right? And the things that you got to do. And so I'm fully support going all in, and going all in with it. But for me,
full commitment would be the do.
The do is full commitment, all in. The don't process of it is don't bite off more than you can chew too quickly. Perfect the things that right, that get to the core, right? I'll use Amazing Athletes, as the primary example for me, because I lived, we scaled so quickly and very fast, but to have my system, my process, my team, the who's doing what, when, where, and how, all of those type of things have to be in place as you scale. You want to grow as quickly as you possibly can, but you can also actually grow too fast to the point where you hurt your performance.
So on that note, myself, we're similar. ADHD. You talk about systems. Well, I create systems like when I find out something that I need to do. In your previous career, you probably had a lot of experience with systems, so you already knew, right?
Right.
So what's your advice for people that didn't have that experience of having the corporate life? Maybe they're in their 20s and they've never had that kind of experience. What's some advice that you would have now that you know?
This is going to shock a lot of people. Use AI. It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming no matter what. I mean, it's something that people are, unfortunately, we're kind of anti, and we're, a lot of in our culture right now, it's like I don't want AI. Even my kids, I love you to death, kids. I'm gonna keep saying that. But it's like AI swamps them, and they're like, I don't want anything AI. I'm like, it's coming, right?
Okay.
My generation, our generation had the internet boom, and AI is
That's awesome.
coming. And use AI. Use ChatGPT as your think partner. Use
That's a-
ChatGPT as your or whoever, Gemini and all the different AI models to be your think partner to create a business plan, right? And create, look at your structure and make sure that you implement and learn about the things that you don't know. But the beauty of AI is you can learn really, really, really quickly.
So admitting that you don't know everything, and that's well, to kind of segue into the next question. What is it that something that people don't talk about in entrepreneurship? That they, like for me, I'm learning as I've gotten older. I don't know everything, and frankly, instead of learning it, I just want to hire somebody to do that, whatever that thing is.
Yeah.
If I don't know how to do a website, I'm not going to try to build one. I'm going to hire somebody or use AI or whatever it is. Bookkeeping's the same way.
Yeah.
Having an assistant, calling people, tracking my customers, CRMs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So what is it you think that people sweep under the rug? It's a backroom talk. They keep everything in the closet they don't want to talk about. What is it from entrepreneurship in your few years of doing it?
It's actually, learning the system product, being a constant learner, constantly learning something new. Every single day, every single week, learn something new. Learn something new about your business. Look at other businesses in different markets. Learn is the key. You don't know it all. I have degrees and it's great and it's wonderful and I've been in it, but I don't know it all. Right. And
Sure.
I definitely don't know AI and all those things. And I definitely don't know a lot of the updated research and all. I just don't, there's a lot that I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know
Right.
how to do. So constantly learning. And I think another biggest mistake that small business owners do is that one, they do everything. And then your business gets to the point where it can only be as big as you. Right. And so you got to the point to where you're so big and great and it's fun and you're busy, but it's only going to get as big as you. You can only do so much. You can only serve so many customers. You can only do the things. And so a big thing that people don't talk about is hire and train somebody. Bring somebody in when you've gotten to the point of scaling where money is good and things are flowing and it's good. Even if it's one day a week, right? If it's a few hours, start training somebody in your system. Because you're only going to get as big as you.
Yeah.
Right? You wear every hat. You do everything. You're accounting, your sales, you're this, you're that. I'm not saying just bring somebody in to learn the things that take up so much of your time so that you can wear the hats that continue to grow your business. Right. And so learn, but also don't be scared to bring somebody in. There's somebody, it could be your kids. It could be a friend. It could be, a church partner, friend. It could be anybody that wants to learn about your business. And if you can't afford them, bring them in as an intern. But if you can pay them, it goes a lot better. Trust me.
Yeah.
You pay them, let them learn, teach what you know, and then continue to scale up to the next level.
One of my past business coaches had always said, you sell, you budget, you hire, you train. Sell, budget, hire, train. When you do that, it doesn't necessarily have to be in that order, but that's the things you do in order to scale. And if you don't hire, like you said, you're not going to scale.
You're not. And
you
then you're
definitely
so
have to
busy
train.
that you don't want to hire somebody, right? You're working sun up to sundown, whatever your business is, it doesn't matter, but you're putting all that time in that you're exhausted.
Yeah,
and you've spent all the time taking care of customers, selling whatever you're doing, whatever you're just so exhausted to the point where you're like, you don't make that leap to the next level of scaling, which is handing some of those off to somebody, whatever they may be.
I'm reading a book. I think we've talked about it. Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell.
Okay.
If you can get someone to do the job that you do, 80% of the effort that you do, it's 100% better than you doing it.
True. I couldn't keep up with all your statistics there, but I haven't read that book, but that sounds...
Hire somebody. if they can do what you do, 80% of the
Yeah.
effort,
80% of the effort.
that's 100% better than you doing it.
You got that right.
Because you can go do something else that's more profitable. For instance, calling to schedule an appointment.
Yeah.
If you have an assistant, let's say you have an assistant, you pay them $15, $20 an hour. Well,
Yeah.
your time's probably worth more than $15 an hour.
Right.
So when you go and you spend 2 hours calling and making appointments, well, if you pay somebody $30, but you could have made $3,000 in that 2 hours by making a sale or whatever,
Right.
then you can pay somebody.
And that's something that small business owners make the biggest mistake too, and that leads into it, is like you've done it right. You've perfected your product, you perfected your sales, you perfected whatever it is that you're doing in your business, and you have to do it. You're like, I can't trust anybody. It's got to be 100% the way that I want it done, or I can't trust anybody. And that trust is what will hold you back from scaling and taking your business to another level.
Absolutely.
You can teach somebody.
100%.
You learned. You can teach somebody, and if they don't do it exactly the way, lead with love, correct them, teach them. Spend time with them, and then ultimately, if they don't work out, they don't work out. But try.
That's awesome. Okay, so last question.
All right. Let me get my notes so I at least reference something here.
What does success actually look like now compared to the beginning of your working career?
Yeah. So this is the one that mattered the most to me out of your pre-questions a little bit. So for me, I want to change as many lives as I possibly can. And that means, changing my employees' lives, changing my customers' lives, I want to be able to give generously and change the people's lives around me.
20-year-olds don't think about giving that much.
It's so important. It's so important. I mean, imagine it's what God created us to do, and being able to give, because whatever it is, and it doesn't matter what amount, it doesn't. Whoa.
Yeah.
That was a great. Hold on, guys. We lost you.
Your little pod, your little thing. There you go.
Oh, it died on me. That's what
Oh,
it
did
is.
it?
All right.
It's
So
all good.
It's all good. So, give, right? The giving part of our being and who we are, you feel better, you feel life, it gives you energy. And so I want to be able to give generously, and that means in multiple ways, and then I want to further the kingdom of God, right? I want to, help people build a relationship with God and see that it's beautiful, and that God, created us to do special things and love each other and take care of each other. And if man, in this world, if we could learn to just love everybody, the whole world would go around a lot better than.
That's amazing.
So, and then of course I want to make good money while doing all that. That's kind of the close of it. But to me, it's about changing the lives of the people that I serve, the people around me, my employees. And yeah, that's what it's all about, man.
Awesome.
We closing out. That's the
if
weird
somebody-
angle on the
if
the
somebody
live. Sorry,
if
guys.
somebody wanted to find you on TikTok, on Instagram, Facebook, where do you want to
So, I'm new to the talk, so you guys are on there. But my is Dying to Live 365. So
Dying to Live.
DIEN the number 2 LIVE 365. That's kind of, I guess, my handles and Instagram and TikTok and Facebook.
The same thing. The same
yeah.
thing. Okay.
Yeah. It's been
Awesome.
I even got it tattooed on me when I was 18.
Wow. Okay, so this is going to sound a little off, but I've known you for a little bit, and
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever talked to you past like 1 or 2 o'clock, and you said you got a little ADHD. I think you're in a solid mindset right now. Like you're focused. I can really tell right now you.
I hydrated well, had a little bit of caffeine. I'm an early morning guy, and I'm
Clay, I really appreciate it, man.
It's fun, dude.
Appreciate you coming.
Thank you for having
Appreciate
me.
you coming.
This is awesome, dude.
Check Clay out. Thanks for watching again. This is John Coombs with Coombs Family Services. If you're interested in coming on our podcast, it's call johncoombs.com. Thanks again, Strategic Business Planning.
Hey, and love everybody. No matter what, just love everybody.
Love everybody. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.